Well, we're back to walking on eggshells because people are back to being haters again. Apparently, I said something that I don't recall about Jeff McCrae. I did now. I just did. Yes, I did mention your name just now. But yesterday's live had nothing to do with you at all. But, hey, you want to make sure your name's mentioned in there? Okay, well, that's what we'll do from now on then. That's the way you want to play it. If I got to walk around eggshells and being fearful of everything that happens or anything that I say in order for you to start bashing me again? Okay. First of all, nothing was ever talked about Mako yesterday. Nothing whatever was ever talked about Jeff McCrae. Okay. None of the people from his live stream were ever even mentioned by name except for Austin and Jack. Go back and look at it. Not good. We're back at the same old bullshit again. Marco's back at it. He's trying to blame me, saying I said something in yesterday's live stream about him. And I didn't. But I'm not going to walk around eggshells with these idiots either. I'm not dealing with this crap anymore. I'm done with it. They won't leave it alone, so guess what? Neither will I. What's up? And I just said, what's up? But anyway, we never did get the car running yesterday. And yes, I am blaming the guy that was on my um, uh, sale thing for, being paid by my lawyers. He had permission to work on the car, and because I wasn't around, I couldn't see what he was doing. So therefore, I know that that was the person that messed my car up. I never put the spark plug wires crossed, not once, ever. And I don't take the distributor and drop it in 180 degrees out either. Now we got to check the dwell on that thing. Got to make sure that the points are opening enough. Got to make sure it's getting enough spark because the spark might be weak. You know, I might have to go get new spark plugs because they might be all fouled out. So I'm not going to walk on eggshells about these people anymore. I can't do it. I'm not dealing with it. I tried being nice too. The only thing I said anything about was Austin and Jack, the car that caught fire inside their garage. I think it was the 73 Charger that they have that they've been putting together. And the only thing I mentioned about it was you don't put it out with water, you put it out with a fire extinguisher. And the only other people that I mentioned was Vice Grip Garage and Wartsky Repair. That's it. But hey, so be it. And I don't get what this LOL cow is. Austin, if you're trying to make fun of me being fat, have you looked at yourself in the mirror, Mr. Man Boob Sprouting? You shouldn't be talking about others unless you can talk about yourself first. You're 22. I'm 56. There's a difference. Mother Nature doesn't play kindly to somebody who's 56. You still got a chance to get thin, but you're getting bigger too. So you got a lot of room to talk about other people, pal. You just had a nice little dose of what was it? Lightning and thunder here. They want to compare me to somebody else who actually does have problems, and they want to make me out to be just like them. Problem is I'm not like that person, and they can't face the fact of the truth of that. As a matter of fact, before I got booted out of Mako's live, where he was making fun of me once again, I even turned around and told him about my grandfather. My grandfather was a first responder. He went into a place called Morningstar Paisley, which exploded. It was a chemical factory in Hawthorne. My grandfather lost his life being a first responder. And because of that, I wound up being a firefighter out in engine number 64 in Gradyville, PA. And I'm not talking about volunteer. I had apparatus, I had ladders, and I had smokehouse. So mine was all certified. Figured I could make a difference in somebody else's life, maybe by helping them out, in a bad spot. I'm not a bad person. That's what they're making me out to be. They're trying to make me out to be stupid, and I don't take anybody's advice. And I talk down to people. Look, you talk the way you talk. I talk the way I talk. If you don't like how I talk, don't tune in. But I'm not going to change my tone of voice because you don't like it. Well, that works. Hey, why don't you bend over and doink yourself in the backside, pal? Into that. Bunch of stupid idiots. No, this is not a gay man's channel. Sorry. If that's what's in here, so be it. It doesn't matter anyway. We don't do segregation based on color, race, creed, or what a person's personal preference is. No, I kicked him out. Renegade, he's gone. I messed up and did that the first time, but I went back and booted him out, period. Yeah, I went back though, DF, and kicked him out. So in other words, I still had the list up. Timed him out the first time, but after that, I actually booted him. Yep, I know. That's what they've been doing for years. So it's been holding me back too. And the problem was is yesterday when I was sitting in the Jeep in the front on the passenger side, I wasn't feeling too good. I was already out in that sun for about 4 hours, with the heat and everything else. And it really wasn't that comfortable out there. It was actually very uncomfortable. So ultimately, what I wound up doing, I told him I was going to leave and get something cold to drink. But by the time I found something, it was too damn hot, and I just figured, nope, going home. I didn't even care that if we didn't cover the car or not. I could care less, at that point. I was just, I was out of it. That was it. Yeah, and we don't have to worry about Real Deal coming in here either. Real Deal is Marco, Jeff McRae. So he's not coming back in here. Yeah, that's all right. It was a live stream anyway. It's still up. You can look at it anytime you want. Uh, yeah, that's one of the haters. His name is Jeff McRae. Then he has his father that lives with him. Then he has his son that lives with him. And then you have Fastang 89, whose name is Joe. Okay. He's another hater. And you also had Brian Cabral, aka what was it? Kevin something. Can't remember what the hell it is. Mr. Stolen Valor from Chris Bustamante. A real communications officer. Okay. That had valor. That was stolen by him. Um, that guy finally got booted offline. He didn't want nothing to do with, you know, being blamed for stolen valor or any of that stuff. So he disappeared because, I was told it by somebody, and then I found out. I went and researched it, and I found out that that was real. There's actually pictures of the guy online. So, I went around telling people about that because I mean, my father was in the service. My grandfather died in an explosion in a chemical company, being a first responder. So God forbid if I were to ever go back to being part of a firefighting group or something like that, respirators, or oxygen tanks, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, well, he was Brian Cabral was another one that was obsessed. All his videos on his channel have something to do with me, or it's twisted. Like a kid takes words out of context and twists things around in order to fit to what they're saying when it's not really true. Well, that's what he did. And he was also after this other guy named Tony's Garage or something like that. Then you have Austin, you have Jack. Now, Austin, you'll hear him in his video, the most recent one. He hates my guts. So he's not doing this out of a review. He's doing this literally out of harassment. So that's why I want nothing to do with him and his father. And I don't care what kind of advice he gave me back in the millennium or whatever back then. You don't have a right to do that to people. If they have a reason to, yes. Like they're talking about this Barry guy that actually has a gun. He's a felon. If he's a felon and he has a gun, he can go to jail for that. I know that. Um, yeah, I know. I just saw that. I just went like this. I'm not going to sit there and do that all day. Uh, some of these people, though, like I said, you can't reach them no matter what you do. And like I said, the funny thing is, I heard Austin literally say, "Oh, I just don't like you. I can't stand you. I hate your fucking guts." That's what he's saying. I'm like, then what the hell are you doing on a social media platform? Can't stand people. Don't be around them. Do something else. After all, people are not here to adhere to your every little whim. That's why we have our own channels. It doesn't say, just as an example, David, Renegade's Garage, aka, but it's really Rich's Garage. You know what I mean? Or vice versa. This is not factual, okay? That he's a felon, he has guns, and that he abuses cats and dogs and stuff. I don't know how true that is. I do know that he has a place that has a lot of cars that need to be put back together and sold in order to put him back where he needs to be financially. I have one car, that's enough for me, you know? And that alone gives what it is you got to do. And we'll see you in the next one, okay? Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Stay safe and stay the hell out of the heat. Talk to you later.